I never imagined a single night could upend everything I believed about my marriage, about trust, respect, and the loyalty I once thought was unbreakable. My name is Daniel, and for years I was convinced that honesty and commitment were the pillars strong enough to hold any relationship steady. But during the company's annual celebration, I discovered just how delicate those certainties really were. The room buzzed with energy, laughter rising and falling, glasses clinking, small talk wrapped around faint currents of unspoken tension. Olivia, my wife, looked stunning, as she always did, poised, confident, effortlessly captivating. I'd admired that about her for as long as I could remember. I believed we were unshakable, a true team in every way. But as I learned that evening, appearances can be dangerously misleading. It started subtly. A coworker of hers, someone I recognized but barely knew, began lingering near her, standing just a little too close, acting just a little too familiar. At first, I dismissed it, assuming I was being overly cautious, maybe too protective. But as the night stretched on, it became impossible to ignore. His laughter came too quickly. His excuses to touch her arm were too frequent. The way he watched her wasn't harmless. He was pushing boundaries, seeing how far he could go unnoticed. Then it happened. Near the edge of the dance floor, wearing a smug expression dripping with entitlement, he crossed the line. A hand on her shoulder, a lean-in far too intimate, a whisper meant for her alone. Olivia stiffened. She didn't step back right away, and that brief pause sent a cold wave through me. He mistook her hesitation for interest, a mistake he would regret. I didn't storm in. I didn't create a scene. Public confrontations often turn the aggressor into the spectacle, and I had no intention of feeding that. I wasn't after drama. I wanted clarity. I wanted to protect my marriage and remind anyone watching that respect still matters. So I observed every gesture, every glance, every misstep. I waited not out of fear, but out of deliberate control. Patience, I realized, can cut deeper than anger ever could. As the music continued, I moved closer, positioning myself so I could intervene the moment it was necessary. I could see Olivia's shoulders tense, aware of his persistence and equally aware of my presence. She didn't need to look to know I was there. That kind of silent exchange comes only with years of connection. He leaned toward her again, confusing her politeness for permission. But he didn't see me stepping up behind him. I closed the gap without theatrics, calm, firm, certain. My presence alone shifted the atmosphere. When he turned and saw me, the arrogance drained from his expression. His smile faltered, his stance stiffened, and for the first time that evening, fear flickered in his eyes. He had believed I wasn't paying attention. He was very wrong. Olivia's gaze met mine, full of relief and understanding. She knew I'd seen everything. She knew I wasn't angry. I was steady, unwavering. I wouldn't allow disrespect to slide, whether in the shadows or in front of a crowd. Something quiet passed between us, a subtle alignment. Words weren't necessary. My composure said everything. Boundaries are not optional. I leaned in just enough for him to hear me without drawing attention. I think you should step back, I said evenly. No threat, no raised voice, just the truth. He hesitated, eyes flicking around like he was weighing whether to challenge me or walk away. I held my gaze steady, unmoving. The message was unmistakable. He'd lost. Olivia stepped closer, her hand resting on my arm. Simple, but powerful. The meaning was unmistakable. Whatever he thought he was testing, he had misjudged completely. He muttered something, stumbled for a justification, and retreated. His earlier bravado disintegrating into embarrassment. I didn't need another word. The point had been made. Respect had been reclaimed. We spent the rest of the evening moving through the crowd as usual, smiling, talking, blending seamlessly back into the night. But beneath the surface, something within us had shifted. A quiet unity had resolidified, stronger than before. That night taught me something crucial. Strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's measured in silent restraint, in deliberate awareness. When used wisely, it can dismantle arrogance without a single raised voice. By the event's end, the man was nowhere to be found. Defeated not by confrontation, but by calm certainty. Olivia and I left together, dignity intact, our partnership reinforced. I realized then that respect isn't something you demand loudly. It's something you uphold steadily, firmly, without wavering. The rest of the night passed quietly, yet the weight of what had happened lingered. I understood how small gestures, quiet words, and fleeting looks can hide entire intentions beneath them. What could have spiraled into betrayal instead became a testament to something far stronger. Trust, awareness, and composed strength. Later, once we were alone, I turned to Olivia and said softly, "You didn't do anything wrong. He just misinterpreted the situation." She exhaled, tension slipping from her shoulders. In her eyes, I didn't just see relief. I saw acknowledgement that we had faced something meant to divide us and come out the other side more unified. That night wasn't only about shielding her from someone else's audacity. It was about understanding how respect is earned and preserved, not through aggression, but through clarity, restraint, and steady control. Too many couples dismiss the tiny red flags, the small boundary tests, the subtle disrespect, the quiet moments that seem harmless until they accumulate. Those little cracks, left untouched, can shatter even the strongest foundation. I learned that the greatest defense isn't jealousy or rage, it's awareness and timing. In the days after, I heard that the man had grown noticeably withdrawn at work, his once bold demeanor gone. The ripple from that quiet moment had done what it needed to do. He had believed charm and proximity could blur lines. He had believed wrong, because sometimes silence, calm, unwavering silence, echoes louder than any outburst ever could.